Hello, good morning. Who does remember this movie from the 80s? Hands in the air? No one? Okay. Now I have the audience with me. So this movie is Back to the Future, and that time, the future was 2015. So in the 80s, when we imagined the cities of the future, the cars would fly, would travel in time. And today, in 2017, although cars still do not fly, the truth is that we have already some pretty advanced cities in the world that are doing very nice things. And today, I would like to explain you how lighting will shape the future of our cities. And I bring you 3 examples of things that we are doing worldwide, and some of those examples I want to share with you today. So the first example is in Buenos Aires, Argentina. We have installed our platform City Touch in almost 90,000 lighting points. And the amazing thing, and that is the first point, that we are doing integration of light points with all other city assets using SAP SAP HANA. So we're integrating street lights with waste management, traffic lights, with citizen complaints, and we're joining it all in only one city dashboard. The second thing is that we're already exploring the power of the city data. We're using the luminaire as a point where you can place sensors and you can add some intelligence. So in LA, in USA, we're now we're installing a sensor, environmental sensor, where I'm doing noise monitoring. So in LA, we're using this sensor to detect not only all the pollution is around the city, but are using it also to detect incidents. And this kind of incidents could be a car crash, could be a shotgun, or could be a terrorist attack. So we're using the city data, this kind of sensors in the city, to provide a better city planning. And we're going down, and the third case that I want to introduce you is what we're doing now in San Jose, California, that we're going down to the pole, so we have the integration of platforms. Second one is the lighting point. We're adding sensors to the lighting point, and now we're going down to the pole, and we're adding also intelligence to the pole. We're adding 4G LTE antennas inside of the poles to improve the coverage in the city centers. So, besides of it, we can also we're thinking to integrate also other kind of sensors like meterings and e-mobility chargers in this kind of poles. And the point is, we are doing several things in this kind of assets, but the most important thing is that you must think about what business models you can have behind. And clearly, the key of doing this kind of project is having behind a good business model that can lead some benefits to the cities. My personal experience says to me that all these examples are amazing, but cities are still looking for quick wins. So I'm seeing that here in Europe, in the south of Europe, the sales cycles are longer, so they took between 2, 4, 6 years, and cities still prefer to do small tests and small implementations, and I think that they're not yet ready to a citywide implementation. And the reason why is because we are lack of funding for this kind of projects. Although there is already a lot of interesting structural funds that could help us to speed up this process. We have here in Portugal 2 projects in Porto and Lisbon that are already been funded by Horizon 2020. I still think that we're not doing enough to speed up the process. And I bring you today an example of Spain, which is doing pretty well. Spain is pretty advanced. It is one of the most advanced countries regarding smart cities. And why that happened? That happened because they have a government institution that's called Rede.es, which is giving money, it's throwing money to these kind of projects, and they already invested around 100 million in around 30 cities in Spain. So to open up this kind of initiatives, it's quite important that governments could provide this kind of support to the cities, because cities are struggling with other problems, and clearly they are not yet ready to invest their own money, and they need these kind of tools to speed up the process. And because my opinion is not the most important thing in the world, I bring you some data from The Economist. So we did a study with the Economist Intelligence Unit last year, where we did investigate how citizens and business in cities around the world would see the benefits of the smart cities. And you get some interesting data I will share with you. The first result is that they are expecting the city to be connected. And why? Because they want to improve or reduce the traffic congestions. They want to have better service in this area. Also, because they want to help to reduce the crime reduction and improve the emergency service. And also, the other 2 points is the quality of life in the cities, and one of the most important, reduce the pollution and energy consumption in the cities. So this is the first result. So citizens are expecting connected cities with real-time feedback. But another interesting thing is they are ready, citizens and business are ready to see, to use as crowdsources to the cities. So cities are not yet being engaged quite well with the citizens. We think that we need to improve it a lot. But citizens are ready to provide feedback about things they are doing, and they would like to engage with the digital tools in the city. And the third one, and for me is one of the most important, is that technology by itself is not enough. So you need to put the technology in the context of the cities. And for this is very important because the cities and the business also expect the cities to be collaborative and to open up to talent. So this kind of smart cities will be an enabler for new jobs, to bring talent to the cities, and to engage with startups to provide the new economic benefits. And also, the engagement between business and citizens is very important through hackathons, crowdsourcing challenge, and other similar digital innovation events. And my question is, but why should you start with light? Why? Because we can't live without light. We can live in the absence of light. Would you ever imagine a city without light? Would you feel comfortable in that city? Would you feel welcome or secure? Of course not. So light plays a huge role in the cities today because it creates atmosphere and empowers place, because it can create dynamic schedules where it can adapt light between different regions in the city, and because it brings identity to the cities. We're working with the London Eye in London, with Empire State Building, and with the Tower Eiffel. I don't know if you remember, but light can also use to raise some polemics. In the European Championship in the last year, the French didn't light up the Tower Eiffel with the Portuguese flag when they won the championship. I think they'll still think that could win the championship by not changing the color of the tower. But anyway, let's put it right. So the light color should be this one. And well, the light could be used for many purposes. But going back to presentation, why light will shape the cities of the future. Sorry. Light is the most widespread and high-density asset in every city worldwide. So today, by changing current street lighting by LED, we can reduce the energy costs, energy savings, up to 50–70%. And adding up smart controls, smart intelligent light, it could reach 80% of savings. And so, where is the problem? Do you have an idea how many of those lighting points are connected now? Less than 2%. So, we have around 300 million of street light points worldwide. Of those, they have, on average, more than 20 years. It's a very old infrastructure. And light can account in the cities up to 40–50% of the electricity bill. So we think that clearly this is an opportunity to change our cities, and clear this is the way to go. So new lighting systems need to be connected, scalable, open, and most important, secure. And why? Because in the future, we'll have trillions, thousands, billions of IoT devices connected to the lighting. So, we as Philips want to deal with this challenge in the cities as partners. And we are now building a smart city ecosystem where we are building partnerships with companies like SAP, like Vodafone. The project behind is Bezos, is a European project financed by the European Community here in Lisbon. We're also doing local partnerships with companies like Compta. And what we want to do, we want to be strong in the lighting vertical. We want to be the company that will lead this vertical. And we want to build partnerships with other verticals in the city, like security, traffic management, waste, parking, environment, etc., through partners. And we want to scale up and to build all this information, compile it in the city dashboard that will be provided by another partner like SAP, Vodafone, or Compta. So this is the most important thing, that you could be connected in the future. And other important thing is the kind we connect the luminaires in the future. What kind of luminaires will connect and what benefit can bring it to us. So we're launching this month today, we're launching a new luminaire that is in Stanley Philips booth. You can see it, which is future-proof. And why? This is the first luminaire system ready. So you have a socket in top and another socket in the bottom where you can add a connectivity device. In this case, it's a City Touch device that is connected here. But the benefit is that you can plug and play, like a USB device, anytime in the future. So this will enable you to grow as the systems will evolve in the future. You can also adapt the connectivity to new systems that will happen in the future. And you can also add, in the future, sensors in the city as the city is growing. And because this is quite important for us, we're now building partnerships with local startups. One of the examples is the space layer technology. We have here this luminaire with a sensor, air quality sensor from this startup. So thank you to Paul that worked a lot this weekend to have it ready for this event. And this is quite important because lighting will also enable to create new business in the city. So if I create a future-proof infrastructure, this will enable us to also empower local startups to create business models over this kind of device. And to end, I want to leave you a simple sentence from Gartner that says that smart lighting is emerging happily. In addition to energy savings, it has the potential to act as enabler infrastructure for IoT. So I think that the future is now, and lighting has the power to change our lives. So thank you.
That was excellent. I really feel that you've shed some light on a very fascinating topic. Do we have questions? Yes, we have here, and let's look around the room in case there are going to be other. Do you need a microphone, or can you manage without? I can hear you, so I can relay it if.
So thanks for your presentation. That's really amazing. But I was wondering whether you could comment on the release of the Worldwide Atlas of Light Pollution, which was recently published to highlight the negative impact of low components in LED-based systems, lighting systems, especially negative impact on the environment and on human health. Could you please tell us how Philips thinks to deal with this issue?
Well, that's a not topic. So, first of all, regarding light pollution, so we're very concerned about it, and we think that LED light will enable to reduce that light pollution. So, as the LED light is directed to the soil, the level of pollution that will send to the sky will automatically decrease when you're starting to install LED lighting in the cities. Regarding the second question, the impact of LED in the health or something different, I think that there is a lot of studies around it. In my opinion, that is more related with like screen device, TV that you are using in front of your eyes than looking to the city and to the environment even because you can use the connected light to reduce the level, that's the plan, to use the connectivity in the cities to reduce the lighting levels to very low levels, and that will reduce the impact in the environment. Regarding also the environment, we have also important thing that is the LED light color. So we're working with different lighting colors, with green and PC amber. We have in the Canary Islands a project where we're installing PC amber lights that will have a very low spectrum that will impact less in the environment because they have an astronomical observatory, very important astronomical observatory in that island. And in the north of Europe, I don't know in which city, I think it is Norway, we're also doing a project with the green light spectrum because there is a reserve ecosystem with some kind of specific animals that need some preservation. So we're concerned about it at very different levels.
Answer though, there's so many ramifications taken into account. Do we have any other questions? Okay, just one observation from me. Your final point about creating an ecosystem or creating the infrastructure that can support an ecosystem is one that really needs to be developed, I think. And it's something I've noted at other conferences. If we do not have joined up thinking, and if we do not think ahead, we will just create isolated silos, as I mentioned earlier, and we will not then capture unforeseen benefits which may come from a truly connected ecosystem and infrastructure which is accessible to, as you said, to new startups to enable new innovation. Because it's great to hear Philip saying that because you're essentially acknowledging we can solve lots of problems, but there's a whole bunch of things that we haven't thought of, and we want to be able to enable innovation to happen through the assets that we deploy. So very good, and thank you for your contribution. Okay, we have one final question.
Just a rapid question. You manage the system through SAP. And have you think an alternative software, like an open source, to manage this system? Because for a city of Empoli is too expensive,
It's expensive
to buy the software SAP. So
yes, we did actually. So when I talk about integration with Vodafone, with SAP, these are just examples. What we're doing, we're built in our platform, it's an API, it's like a door, that we have some attributes that you can interchange with other platforms. So from our side, we have an API that will let you to integrate with whatever you want. Could be open software, could be SAP, Vodafone, any platform. And the same thing is quite important. At the level of software, important to have open integrations, so to be future-proof. And also at the level of the device, the luminaire, we're also providing that socket, the SR socket, that will allow you to install any kind of telecommunication equipment.
Okay. And there are definitely open source initiatives like Fireware and other such projects. Okay, if there are no further questions, then I'll draw this one to a close, and thank you again.
Yeah.